Hello dosto, welcome back to my YouTube channel QA Revolution with K, and this is a part 2 of our highly requested series Java frequently asked coding questions in Java development or SDET or automation testing interviews. So अगर आप interviews की तैयारी कर रहे हो तो this video is must for you. So these are the essential problems that every interviewer asks to test your logic and the coding skills. So in part 1, I have covered a different tricky problems or the different variations related to the reverse string or finding duplicate elements and the finding the occurrences of elements. So if you have not watched part 1, please go and watch. Link in the description below. So let's start. In today's video, we are going to begin with our basic Java coding series, where I'll cover some of the most important problem statements that every Java developer or automation tester must know. So these are the small problems that often appear in the interviews, simple in appearance, but they test your understanding or the logic or the loops and arrays. So in this part, I'll just walk through the problem statement. We won't dive into logic or the code yet. So get ready to note them down and try solving them yourself first. So first one is a palindrome check. So the objective is to determine if the string or the number reads the same forward and backward. So if you reverse the number or reverse the string, it should be same. For example, you can see the examples on the screen, madam or 1 to 1. So if you reverse the number as 1 to 1, it will be same as 1 to 1. So this kind of questions interviewer may ask to reverse. So you have to first reverse this particular element and you have to check the both elements are same or not. Then the second one, which is related to the sorting. So the objective is to arrange all the elements. They will ask, they will give you integer array or character array or the string array, and you have to sort them into the ascending or descending order. Okay, so third one is find smallest and largest element. So the objective is to identify the minimum and the maximum value within the array of integer or the character or the string array. So for example, if you have given an array, so you need to find which one is the smallest one or which one is the largest one. So this is very common interview question because it checks whether you can loop through the arrays or the compare values and handle edge cases like arrays with the duplicate or the single elements. So the fourth one is find second largest or second smallest element. So the objective is you have to find the second largest or the smallest value in the array without fully sorting it. So the twist here is that you are not supposed to sort the array fully and simply pick the second one. So you need to figure it out logically using loops and comparisons. For example, there is an array with 4917 numbers and you can say that 9 is the largest number, but you have to give a output as a 7 is the second largest number. So this helps interviewer to evaluate your optimization skills and the understanding of time complexity. So the next one is we are going to discuss one of the most interesting concept, variable swapping without using temporary variables. So this is one of the those topics that seems simple but very popular in interviews because it tests how well you understand the variables, memory and building the logic. So let's get started. So the problem one is swap two integer without using the temporary variable. So the objective is to exchange the values of two integer variables a and b without using the third variable. For example, the input is a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 5, and you have to provide output as you have to exchange the values of those variables. So the output should be a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 10. So now usually we use a temporary variables like temp to swap two values, but here you are not allowed to do that. So you will need to figure out a way to perform the swap using arithmetic operations or the logic, which makes it great test of your understanding of operators and the value manipulations. So interviewers love this question because it is a short but clever. It checks how you approach the problems under constraints. So let's go with the next one. So next is similar kind of questions. So swap two string words without using temporary variable. So objective is to exchange the content of two string variable, word 1 and word 2, without using any extra string variable. So for example, you have a input as word 1 hello and word 2 word. So you have to reverse it, and your word 1 value should be world and word 2 value should be hello. So this problem is similar to the integer swapping, but this time you are dealing with the string operations, not numbers. So it's commonly asked to test your string manipulation skills. So how you can creatively use the string functions or concatenations to achieve the same goal. So it's fun one, short and logical, interview friendly question. So practice these kind of questions. So now we are going to talk about some slightly tricky but super interesting coding problems that very common in interviews. So first one is find the first non-repeating character or the element. So the objective is to identify the first element or the character in an array or string that does not repeat anywhere else. So for example, the string is Swiss, and you can see the W is first non-repeating character into the string. So you have to provide output as a W. So interviewers use this to see how you handle the logic and the data structure like maps or the counters. So the next problem is different star patterns. So you have to write a code to print various geometric patterns using star based on the nested loops. Like for example, you have to practice creating a different star or the pyramid patterns using the nested loops. So examples are like square patterns, right angle triangle or the inverted triangle, pyramid or the diamond shaped patterns. So these types of problems are designed to test your logic, control logic flow, and how well you can structure your code visually. Even though they look like simple, they are one of the best exercises to strengthen your logic building skills. So make sure you try writing at least 4 to 5 different star patterns on your own. So third one is convert character or the string case without inbuilt function. So objective is to convert all the lowercase character or the uppercase character to upper to lower or lower to upper. So but without using any inbuilt functions like to uppercase or to lowercase. So this means you will need to understand about how character ASCII values work in a Java and use that to perform the conversion manually. So the next is character classification and the separate challenges. So we are going to explore two more interesting and logic oriented topics that test your understanding of the strings, characters and the loops. So the first one is separate the string with different types. So given string that contains a mix of letters, digit or the special characters. So your goal is to separate or the classify each type into its own group. For example, you have given a string, this one, like small a, capital A, 2F, B5, this, and you have to provide expected output as first you have to separate small letters and then capital letters and then all the numbers, and you have to concatenate the string or the groups, and you have to concatenate into one output. Or we have another example also for this question. So sometimes interviewer will ask or give you the string which contains some capital letters or the small letters or symbols and the numbers, and you have to separate the small letters and then capital letters, numbers and then symbols. So you have to separate the string with different types. Then next one is uh, string operations or run length or encoding challenges, we can say. So the problem, we can say, this is you have to expand a compressed string by reading the adjacent numbers and repeating the preceding characters that many times. So the string is, for example, you have to given the string as A2 B3 C4, and you have to provide expected output as you have to give whatever the number which is given after that character, you have to print that character that number of times. For example, the output you can see A B B B and then C C C C. C is 4 times as which has given, and the problem too is similar but vice versa. So you have to, the string is A B B B and C C C, and you have to give the output as A2 B3 C4. So you have to first calculate the count of these numbers and you have to give that character and then number. So you have to calculate the count of that character. So these kind of coding questions that can be asked to analyze your string manipulation skills. So that's all for today's video. Thank you everyone for watching this video till the end. If you haven't watched part 1, do check it out, because that I have already covered some very important basic Java coding questions into that every automation tester or developer should know. So in next video we will move towards something every automation tester must master: XPath functionality. We will talk about different types of XPath related questions that are commonly asked in interview questions. So also I will cover some real-time scenarios related to the XPath. So I'll show you how interviewers sometimes open any randomly website and ask you to find the ununique XPath using different XPath access techniques. So don't miss that one, it's going to be super helpful. Once again, thank you for watching, and make sure to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more testing and coding content. Thank you.